What's up, you guys? I'm here with the Extreme Rules pay-per-view DVD collection from 2009 all the way to 2021. So, yeah, kind of an odd setup here for the spines. Usually they all kind of match up pretty decently, yeah, but these are kind of all over the place. You got the double feature, you got the new logo. So, yeah. I'm not going to include One Night Stand 2008, but I guess I'll give it an honorable mention. It did have the Extreme Rules tagline. To be fair, probably my favorite out of all of these, if we were going to count this. So, yeah. Ironically, my favorite one we're technically not going to include. But, alright. So, let's start out with 2009. I guess we'll just... Alright. So, 2009, we had the rebrand completely to Extreme Rules from the One Night Stand brand. So yeah, this is kind of the WWE-ified One Night Stand. And it would definitely show as time went on. So in 2009, we had a really cool cover here. You had the Rey Mysterio with all the different wrestler tights, logos, all that stuff. Very cool. I like that idea, actually. So we had Randy Orton versus Batista in a steel cage match. Very forgotten, that kind of rivalry there. You had Edge and Jeff Hardy in the ladder match, John Cena and Big Show in the submission match. You know, I'll give it to them. At least most of these matches are extreme, no DQ, all that stuff. I don't actually like using the word extreme all that much, but yeah, extreme. I guess that's what you'd call it. So yeah, and then we had Vicky Guerrero versus Santina Marella, so that's fun. There you go. What more could you ask for in life? Hold on, we have the pull tabs. And then there's your disc. And then next up, 2010. I don't know. This cover's kind of grown on me over the years. I really, really like the logo. Unfortunately, we never saw that logo again. That sucks. I love that logo. I guess I just like, I don't know, I love the color contrast. I don't know. I was never the biggest Sheamus fan. You guys know that about me. But pretty damn cool cover, I will say. And then very nice spine. I like the white. You know, it's simple. Kind of reminds me of the ECW Bloodiest Brawls DVD. Alright, so we have John Cena versus Batista in the Last Man Standing match for the WWE title. Jack Swagger versus Orton for the World Heavyweight belt. We have CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. The street fight, Triple H and Sheamus. Edge and Jericho in a steel cage. So yeah, strap match, JTG and Shad. Another forgotten rivalry. A lot of people forget. They broke up and had a full-on rivalry. I don't know if that was Shad's... I don't want to say that was his last WWE match. But I kind of feel like it was, but... don't hold me on that one. Next up, we have 2011. See, I stacked them up all nice now. Now they're not everywhere. So yeah, you have John Cena here on the front cover with the spinner belt. And inside the cage there. Interesting cover. You know, I'm sure all you guys that hate spoiler covers, here you go. Then you have your spine, very generic. But yeah, this was actually a pretty decent pay-per-view. Probably better than WrestleMania 27. But we had The Miz versus John Cena and John Morrison, the steel cage triple threat. You have Christian versus Del Rio. Christian winning his first, WWE world title, so that was awesome. Even though he would then lose it, but it would lead to a great rivalry with Orton, so I'm not going to complain. We have Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah, tag team country whipping match. Oh, God. Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross versus Michael Cole and Jack Swagger. Yep. And then we have the loser leaves WWE match. Michelle McCool and Layla. Part of Lay Cool, of course. I don't know, I feel like Lay Cool, very underrated little team they had there. Not a big fan of the Piggy James stuff, but all the other stuff, they were good. They were good at getting heat. And then we, of course, have what a lot of people consider to be the best Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I agree. It's not my favorite, but I agree. It is the best. We have Brock Lesnar versus John Cena in the main event. Controversial that John Cena won, but it is what it is, I guess. It's 9 years later. Then we have Nikki Bella versus Layla, CM Punk and Jericho, Chicago Street Fight, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, 2 out of 3 falls match. Yeah, this was a great pay-per-view. This is probably the best pay-per-view of 2012, WWE-wise. I think I did rank this number 1. I forget. And then 2013, they always change the logos on the cover. Even this one's a little different. If you see close enough, it's different. But then, like, the spine, well, not the spines, but, like, the event itself and the pay-per-views, they all just have that kind of regular Extreme Rules logo. But you have Brock and Triple H up there. Of course, the steel cage match they had. Probably one of their better matches. Together, at least. We had John Cena and Ryback in the Last Man Standing match. We have The Shield, Randy Orton, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, and Big Show, and the rest of the WWE superstars on the one night where the only rules are Extreme Rules. And then we have The Miz versus Cody Rhodes on the pre-show. Next up, we have 2013. Another cool cover. I really like the new logo there they had. I don't know, I wish they would have used these logos more often. The ones that were on the DVD covers and stuff. Because, you know, even that one's a little different. But, yeah, we have Triple H and Brock Lesnar in the steel cage match. And pretty damn good match of theirs. I think it's probably their best match they had together. We have John Cena and Ryback. We have Mark Henry and Sheamus there in your strap match. You got the Shield down there. So, overall, it's kind of a forgettable pay-per-view, but it had a good main event, so I'll give it that. And really cool disc artwork. For some reason, these are not closing correctly tonight. Good lord. Next, we have 2014. Yeah, this is kind of an anomaly of a pay-per-view. This was the only time Daniel Bryan, I believe that he... Well, it's the only time he defended the title on pay-per-view in 2014, but I think it was his only defense, period, in 2014, if I'm correct. So yeah, you have versus Kane there in the Extreme Rules match. And your little action shot there. You have John Cena and Bray Wyatt in a very interesting steel cage match. And then we had, to me, what the attraction was for Payback as well. You had the Shield versus Evolution. And they had 2 damn good matches. So, yeah. Wasn't really expecting that. So, there you go. Generic disc artwork. Little crowd shot. Next, we have 2015. Pretty cool cover. I like this. You have Rusev and John Cena there with the chain going through the R. See, it's little stuff like that that separates a great cover and a good cover. I like it. You have, I don't know why I almost said the Shield. You have Roman Reigns versus Big Show there. You have Seth Rollins and Randy Orton in the steel cage match. So, yeah. You do have a match listing. You have the Kiss Me Arse match. Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus. You know, you have Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus the New Day. So, yeah. And then opening this up, you have a Dean Ambrose card. And then pretty cool disc artwork. And then we have 2016. Another great cover. I don't know why, but Extreme Rules has damn good covers. I'm just now noticing this. But I really like the black and white background, and then you have the colored picture there. Very cool. I like how they changed the rope color, and you can totally tell right there. That's just funny to me. And then you have your spine. You had the Asylum match with Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho. You have the Miz and Cesaro right there. You, of course, had AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns. So, yeah, pretty decent pay-per-view. I did like this one. I've always said, if you don't expect it to be extreme and violent, they're good pay-per-views for the most part, these Extreme Rules pay-per-views. So you have a John Cena card, and then your disc artwork. Yeah, Extreme Rules, it's usually an enjoyable show. It's just you have to know what you're watching. That's the thing. Just don't expect blood, tacks, barbed wire. You know, this isn't ECW. So we have 2017. I was actually at this pay-per-view, and I enjoyed it. We had the Hardys versus The Bar in the steel cage match. And this was part of the double feature. You have Money in the Bank down there. Very big quality difference between those two. You had the 5-way match, which was very enjoyable to see in person. That was a great match. Basically to decide Brock Lesnar's #1 contenders. So there you go. Pretty good match. You had Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Bray Wyatt. You had Alexa Bliss and Bayley in the awful kendo stick match, but everything else was pretty decent on this show. You have a Dean Ambrose card again, and there's your main event. And I really do like this cover. The Hardys there. I don't care if it's not an extreme cover. I just like it. It's purple. You got the green. I don't know. Good stuff. And then we have 2018. We, of course, had the return of Team Hell No versus the Bludgeon Brothers. You had Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler in what I thought was a good main event. Unfortunately, the crowd just kind of took that one over. And then we, of course, have Nia Jax, who was just released tonight as we speak, versus Alexa Bliss there. You have AJ Styles versus Rusev for the WWE title. That was actually a good match, too. You had Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman, steel cage. So, yeah, decent stuff on this one. Yeah, this one's a hit or miss. Very much so. And then we have 2019. And it's kind of another hit or miss pay-per-view. Like, it has some really good stuff on it, and then it has some not so good stuff. But, yeah, you, of course, had a lot going on here on the back. You had AJ Styles and Ricochet for the U.S. title. You had Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre in a no-holds-barred match against Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. And then, of course, we had Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. And then opening this up, this is a 2-disc set. You have a Daniel Bryan card. Always good to see. And then you have your spine. Here we have the horror show at Extreme Rules. Good God, is this pay-per-view bad? I'm sorry. Usually I'm nicer during these, but come on. You guys know what this was. Yeah. Damn good cover, though. I will give it that. Apollo Crews, not on the pay-per-view. Still made the cover. Which, whatever. At this point, that's the least this pay-per-view had to worry about. So, yeah, where do we start? We, of course, had the eye for an eye match. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins, which ironically was a good match. It's just the idea was really stupid. And the ending was just really stupid, which we expected for a match where you had to pull somebody's fucking eyeball out of their socket. But yeah, it was a good match leading up to the eyeball socket incident. So we also had Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt in the first ever Wyatt Swamp fight. It's a good thing it was the last one, too. We had Sasha Banks versus Asuka. You had Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. So, yeah, it's kind of a filler pay-per-view. We did have a really good match, though. Tables match with the New Day versus Nakamura and Cesaro. That was actually a really good match. I will give that to them. The finish was great. So, you had an AJ Styles card. And then, holy shit, that's bright. We have the neon green disc. And then finally we have 2021. Once again, I really like this the cover. I like the new color scheme. You know, these both kind of had similar color schemes going. But we had Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the women's belt. We have the Universal title match, Demon Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. The triple threat, Damian Priest, Jeff Hardy, and Sheamus. And then Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw women's belt. So, yeah, there you have it. And this one is a one-disc set. So, yeah. Don't really know why, but we have a Bray Wyatt card in there. It's either a sign or they just wanted to get rid of his cards. Probably more the latter there, but yeah. And then you have awesome disc artwork. This goes to show you don't need much to make good artwork. Like, that's very simple, but it works. I like it. But yeah, there you have it. The Extreme Rules pay-per-view DVD collection. Hopefully it stays. There we go. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. For now, peace out.